Hi everyone, it's Mari here for Honeybee Stamps. We have a really fun YouTube hop for you today as part of the Falloween release from Honeybee. And we are going to be giving away two $50 gift cards to the Honeybee shop. Make sure that you leave a comment on all of the videos in the hop. And I will be linking up in the description box below to all of the other videos that are part of this hop. So make sure that you click those links. I'm also going to be linking to all of the different products that I'm using today as well. And I will also link to the entire release, which is so much fun. It's just a really, really beautiful release. So many of the different products can be used for other seasons as well, not just fall or Halloween, but definitely really, really gorgeous. So many sweet things. Always love the Honeybee releases. So I'm going to be working with a set of stencils called Fall Forest Floor or Forest Floor. And this stencil set actually has a coordinating die set as well. There are 6 stencils in this set, if I didn't say that already. And I am crafting today at the cottage, so I don't have my normal light setup and camera setup, but I think it should still be okay. And hopefully you can hear me all right, and you'll be able to follow along with me in my video today. So thank you so much for joining me, and I am going to get right to it here with some stenciling. So what I've decided to do for a color scheme is blue and orange. It's definitely a color scheme that I really, really love. I'm going to start off here with some Tumble Glass Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to go over my mushrooms with that color. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend in these areas here. And this Tumble Glass is just a really, really pretty tone of blue. If you've never used this color before, it's gorgeous. I love it. It's just kind of almost like a bit of an icy blue. It's really, really beautiful. And so I'm going to go ahead and just blend into these areas on the mushroom. This is a Honeybee blending brush. It's one of the smaller detail brushes. And like I said, I am crafting at my cottage, so I don't have all of my supplies here. I just bring a little stack of supplies with me when I come. I do leave some things here, like I leave a stack of paper, and I leave, you know, just I have a Gemini Junior that I leave here and things like that. But I pack a small bag of basic supplies. So there's those mushrooms. Okay, so for the pumpkins, I'm going to go in with a little bit of carved pumpkin. And you may have to, when you use the stencil, you may have to do a little bit of masking. I'm just going to mask this little area off here on this mushroom, just so that I don't go over that area with the orange. And I'll just go back in here then with my carved pumpkin. And you can go kind of like a light and dark combination if you want. I mostly have dark on here, but I'm going to go in with 2 different colors. And you can see that the lines on the stencil are etched. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. They're etched so that you can see where the rest of that pumpkin is going to be when it's time to stencil that pumpkin, the rest of that pumpkin in there. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of Rusty Hinge as well, which is a really beautiful color. And I'm just going to see if I have a brush that's going to work for Rusty Hinge. I might have to improvise. I was able to find a brush that I think is kind of the Rusty Hinge color here. So I just want to go in and I want to do just a little bit around the edges. And this definitely would work better if you had a smaller brush, but again, I'm just going to be working with what I have. And I just want to add just a little bit of this Rusty Hinge, just as a little bit of extra color detail and contrast. So I really like how that looks. It's just a little bit darker and deeper than the carved pumpkin. So now I have the second stencil, and I can use the lines, once again, those etched lines on the stencil here to help me line this up with what I've already done. And it's lining up quite well. I may have to just move my paper here a little bit until I'm happy with how this is aligned. Just scooch it over just a little wee bit until everything is good to go. And once I'm happy there, I'm just going to put a little bit of my tape back down here. And I'll just press on those edges. And now I can go into these other areas, depending on what color I'm going to use for those areas. Now you can see these little acorns are open and these other little stems and so on, and ready to take some ink as well. Okay, so I do have a little bit of masking tape there just to protect that mushroom. I'm going to go in with my orange here again, my carved pumpkin, and I'm just really blending lightly here for the sides of the pumpkin. Just going in quite lightly. And I'm going to work from light to dark and just using a really small, slight amount of pressure there to get the sides of the pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and lift that masking paper, and I'll put that over this mushroom here, or the top of that mushroom. And again, just blending in. I have not reapplied the ink to the brush. I'm just using the ink that's in there already. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over those side areas just to give the sides of the pumpkin a little bit less ink. And I'm going to go do this one here. Just grab a little bit more of my mint tape here. That there. And then here, going in again, just with that carved pumpkin that's left in the brush. That is plenty of ink just to do those sides of my pumpkin. Now I'm going to go in with some antique linen. And I'm going to do some areas on my mushrooms with some antique linen just to offer a bit of a contrast to that blue. So just see me going in here. Again, I've got lots of the little areas taped off so that I don't end up putting the antique linen where I don't want it. I'm not worried about going off the edge of the of the stencil here, just because I'm going to be trimming that off. And I think that is all of those sections. Now, these are mushroom stems. I think I'm going to go over those with my blue. So again, that's tumbled glass. I'll just fill those areas in like so. Now for these acorn tops, I'm actually going to add a little bit of gathered twigs. And that actually might be it for the acorn tops. And that is everything on that stencil. Okay, so I have the next stencil taped down. And I'm going to go in with some peacock feathers and add that onto that mushroom. And I'm going to add it to the top of this one. And you can see these are all covered in, the acorns, the pumpkins, they're all covered in. That's not open, so it's protected. I don't have to worry about masking that off. And go in with this. This mushroom here. So we're going to have a dark blue top with light blue dots. I think that's going to be cute. So it's fun, right? Because you can do whatever colors you want with your little forest floor vegetation. So that's those ones. Okay, so we're on to the next stencil. I'm going to add a little bit of antique linen to the other areas of the acorns that are showing here. And I'm going to go in with thinking gathered twigs for these areas here with the branches. This is the same brown as the tops of the acorns. I'm going to use that same color for the top of my pumpkin here. And we have to just grab a little bit more ink here. And this is also going to actually give us the insides of these leaves, which I forgot to stencil on camera, but I used a little bit of crackling campfire for these leaves. And then this gathered twigs is going to fill in the centers. And there's another twig down here and another twig over here. Okay, so I'm just looking to make sure I have everything covered in there before I take that stencil off. Okay, this next stencil is the leaves and all these tiny little leaves that fill in the space. And I decided I'm going to use crushed olive for that. I think it'd just be a really nice complement for the colors that I've chosen so far. So I'm going to just go ahead and go over all of these areas with our crushed olive. Super pretty. I think the color combo is going to look really nice when we're all finished. So we'll just do our little peel reveal with our green. I love how that looks. So pretty. And so now I'm just going to put my last stencil on. And we're going to add, this is the last stencil of the 6 stencils. We're going to add a little bit of crackling campfire here. These are going to be some little dots, which are super cute. It's just like this little polka dot. And the tops of some of these little mushrooms. And the top of this mushroom is going to be crackling campfire. And this one, I think I need to go back and add another mushroom stem in that one spot. So now we've got this most adorable little panel, and I've just trimmed it down where the stencil kind of finishes around the edge. And we have the coordinating forest floor dies. Now you could take this in and you can do all kinds of really fun techniques using the coordinating dies. So you could either make yourself some little embellishments, you can do some little cutaway areas for a shaker card, so many different things. I love when there's a coordinating die for something like this. I think it's so fun. You can also take a little leaf and die cut that out and so on and so forth. So there is a coordinating die for all of these different little images that are part of the stencil set. So very, very unique and interesting. Now, what I thought would be super cute for my card today is to cut this down for my A2 size card front. And then I thought it would be really cute to pair that with this little die set here, which is our lovely layer scarecrow, and to create a little background for our sweet little scarecrow dies. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut all of these different pieces off camera, and then we'll assemble our scarecrow for our card. Okay, so I have the stenciled card front trimmed down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I've got a little bit of a white margin around the outside edge of my card base here. So you can see I've got that white margin space. I really like that. So I'm going to just set that aside, and we're going to start working on this lovely layers scarecrow. This is a fantastic die set. I love it. I love all of the lovely layers, and there's some really fun ones in this Falloween release. So to start off with, I die cut out the base for the scarecrow's garment out of some kind of a gold cardstock. And the next little die cut piece that layers over top of this, I die cut from some of the pattern paper from the Fall is in the Air pattern paper pad. Now we have 2 paper pads with this release, Fall is in the Air, and we also have Sweet and Spooky. These paper pads are gorgeous. So take a look at that. The paper pads are 6 by 8.5. So each one of these sheets in here, if you cut them in half, you actually have enough paper for 2 card fronts for A2 card. And the patterns are just absolutely so stunning. I'll just do a really quick flip through here, friends, but I highly, highly recommend these. Honeybee does so many things very, very well. And one of the things that they do extremely, extremely well, you even get some sentiment strips in the back, is their paper pads. Their paper pads are always just really, really stunning and gorgeous colors. Really, really pretty. So love that. That one is called Fall is in the Air. And this one is the Sweet and Spooky. So again, just really gorgeous patterns. These ones are more of the Halloween, but oh, just so cute. I love them. The colors are so pretty. Gorgeous. Some spider webs. Really fun color families for Halloween. So gorgeous. Love those skulls. Really, really sweet. And these are always definitely a must-have in my books, the pattern paper pads. They're always really beautiful. So I did die cut some of my papers from there. And then for the cardstock, I just used cardstock for my stash. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start to assemble this. Now, you could also use that. Look how cute that is, that floral. So doesn't matter which side we use, it's going to be super, super cute. And I'm just going to go ahead and start putting this together. Okay, so that's the pants. Now we are going to go ahead and add some little details in. So this is a sweet little pocket. That right about there. And then we have, oops, and we have 2 little buttons. One there and one there. The little buttons have the tiny little debossed detail like the little holes in a button would have. So super cute. All those little details. This little pocket here is also got the little faux stitching on it, which you probably can't see on camera, but there's also a little die for a patch. And I die cut that from the same plaid paper as the shirt. So all of the pattern papers I've used here are from the new pattern paper pads. How cute is that? Love it. Then we can start to assemble the hat and the head. I'll just set this aside. So now we've got the base layer for the hat and the head, and then this layers on top. And I die cut this out of the gold so that it would be, so that the straw color would be the color of straw down here at the bottom. And the base color, that dark orange, is meant to coordinate with the color of the actual hat, which is kind of like this dark red color or a deep, kind of a deep orange. And this is the same color that I used for the cuffs and the pockets and the buttons, so that everything kind of coordinates together. And I tried to be mindful when I was picking the colors to match up with the colors of our background so that everything can work together there. Now, before I put that on, I should actually have put this little head in there. But I think I can still slip that under there. Let's just make sure. Just kind of lift this back up just a tiny little bit with my fingernail so that I can just slip that underneath and line it up with the neck down below. Just squeeze that in there a little bit more. Of course, just when you don't want it to adhere down as quickly, it does. So just give that a little press. That's pressed into place. And now we can go ahead and put the little facial features in here, which I die cut from some dark brown. So the face part here, I die cut from a craft cardstock. So now we can just go in and put these little facial features in, like these eyes. And I don't have a pick and stick tool here at the lake, so just doing my best with these tweezers. I hope everyone's had a really great summer. It's crazy that we're already here at fall time, isn't it? To me, that is just absolutely craziness. The summer went so fast, but it always does, right? Such a short season where I am, weather-wise. And then the little mouth just fits perfectly into this space here. And there's debossed lines on the die cut from the die so that you can see where you're supposed to put the different little bits. So there's our little scarecrow's face. And here's the little body. So the head's going to go on there like so. And we have a stick for this all to fit onto. And then we've also got some other little details. We have a scarf here that we're going to glue together. Super cute. And I'm just remembering or realizing that I forgot to do one of the die cuts, which is a little tie for around here. So I'll have to actually do that. And so I die cut this section of the scarf out of dark orange. And then I'm going to layer that onto a lighter orange piece. Okay. So that all fits together very, very easily. Super easy to line up and sort out how that's supposed to go together. And then you can see we've got the different color of tone of the tail of the scarf in behind. Okay. We've also got this little bit here for the hat band. So I die cut that out of that plaid again. So I'll just go ahead and get that glued into place. Like so. And scoop off that glue. And then we have our crow here. I did die cut the wing out of some lighter cardstock, as opposed to the base of the crow, which is die cut from black. And I'll just go ahead and glue that on. And I will add a little dot to the eye with my white gel pen. And then these are just little extra pieces of straw that are going to go at the bottom of our stick. Okay, so now I am going to just put a little bit of glue here on the neck. And that is going to be where this little tie goes, which I've die cut from some brown cardstock. I'll just fit that into that spot there, right about there, so that it looks like it's the tie for keeping the little scarecrow's head together, right? Okay, so now we can go ahead and start assembling this guy, and I can get him all put together. Okay, so we are now ready to go ahead and assemble our card here. I'm going to go ahead and put my card front onto my card base. And I'm just going to try to get this mostly centered. It's looking pretty good. I also die cut this piece here from the the party lovely layouts. So this is these lovely layouts die sets are really fantastic. They've got just some really nice layering elements with them. So I am going to go ahead and pop that up onto my background here. And that is going to be a spot for our sweet little scarecrow without covering up our entire stenciled background here. So we're still going to be able to see our stenciling, but you can just see how really great this stencil is though for creating your own pattern paper, for creating elements that you can die cut. Just so many options with that stencil set. I really love it. I'm very excited about that one. So now we're just going to go ahead and center this and get it as straight as possible. I could grab my T-square ruler and just make sure that I have that straight, but it looks pretty good. It might be over this way a little bit more than that, but it's pretty good, not too bad. And now we're just going to go ahead and take our sweet little scarecrow and we'll pop this guy up as well. And when you're die cutting this little string here, that's if you want the scarf is going to cover that up. So it's, you could layer this over top for sure, but just so that you can see the different looks you can get with this little scarecrow. So cute. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it, love it. And I like a lot of dimension on my projects, so I don't mind that it is quite layered. And then that little crow can go over there. Put a little bit of dimensional adhesive on the back of him as well. I'd have to trim that down a little bit. Give that a press. We'll get that into place. And our adorable little scarecrow is slowly but surely coming together. Then we have a sentiment here. This is using this really fantastic die set, which is called Great Greetings Every Day. So you get the scripty die and the shadow die, and the words are happy, congrats. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, thanks, hello, think that's it. I think that's what the words are on here. So really, really awesome. And so I have the same cardstock as I used for the hat here. You can use the fall mini messages to create a sub sentiment there as well. And I am going to pop some foam adhesive on the back there. And then we've also got a little bit of straw that we can add down here at the bottom. Okay, so I've got the sentiment added here. I'm going to just add this other little bit of hay down here on that little stick. I'll put this little piece down there. Glue that right in there, like so. Kind of offset it a little bit so you can still kind of see that stick down at the bottom. And that is going to finish off all of our little gluing bits. Now I am going to use a sub sentiment. This is the Something to Crow About set. I love this so much. It's a little 4x3 stamp set that has a coordinating die set as well. Harvest happiness with a hint of hay, scarecrow kisses, and harvest wishes. I just cawed to say I love you. Something to crow about. Hey, they're good looking. And hanging with my chromies. So love that. I think this is super cute. It's called Something to Crow About. And I thought that would be super cute down here at the bottom as a little sub sentiment for our little card, just to finish it off, so that we have hello, scarecrow kisses, and harvest wishes, which I think is super, super cute. To finish off my card, I added a few little gold splatters. I'm not sure if you can really see that gold shine on camera, but it is really, really super pretty. Friends, that's going to finish off my project today. Make sure that you check out the links in the description box below so that you can see how you can check out the other videos in the hop, and make sure that you check out all of this brand new Falloween release from Honeybee Stamps. I did link up in the description box below to the products that I've used for my project today. Have an amazing day, friends, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.